Thanks, Gregor. Morning, guys. First question for Dylan, please. Dylan, you were the last guy off the bench and had a long embrace. What was that like, and what was going through your mind at that time?
Uh, I was just happy it was over, to be honest with you. I think, obviously super excited and a lot of emotions for just the way we battled and how hard we played. And just kind of took a moment, and it was just honestly, it was just like just a huge relief that the game was kind of finally done and that we got the win. And um, you know, yeah, I think I was just pretty tired, to be honest with you, and I think I just came off the ice with JMO, and I was just trying to catch my breath and saw that we got a break, and yeah, just took a minute and just thank God that we got the win, and finally it was over. And our staff was there and gave him a quick hug, and then joined the boys in the group.
Go back to Ken Weeb for a follow-up. Go ahead, Weaver.
And then Josh, for you, obviously you played over 40 minutes. What was it like for you to see Kyle find the back of the net, and how would you just describe what that series was like to be a part of?
Yeah, it was obviously amazing to see him score. You go into an overtime that's that long, especially on a back-to-back. I think that was the thing that we kind of kept forgetting when we were talking about the game afterwards was, that was a back-to-back in the playoffs, obviously for both teams. And, with 3 straight overtime games and I think 4 games in 6 days, that's a pretty heavy schedule. And so I think, just to see him get that chance, and a lot of times in overtime, you're so tired, you're sitting on the bench and you're trying to watch the play, but you have to worry about, hydrating or, doing different things. But in that instance, the puck went up to him and, obviously he sort of had that semi breakaway. So we had enough time to watch, and kind of the anticipation was there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And to see it actually go in was just remarkable. And I kind of blacked out for the next few minutes, but it was pretty awesome and just a great feeling.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, thanks, Gregor. Congratulations, guys, on round 1. I don't know how closely you follow the news, but the way things are going in Manitoba, how concerned are you that there might not be any fans in the building even for round 2? Dylan, you can start, and maybe like to get you both to tackle that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that obviously nobody can control. Whatever the government thinks is appropriate. And, I will say that, it definitely sucks without any fans in the regular season, and it sucks even more without them here in the playoffs. And, such an advantage for us having, our fans and the whiteout in full effect. I don't know about everybody, but I could hear the honking before the game when I'm warming up off the ice, and just to hear it afterwards too, after we won and clinched. Just to have that inside the building would be amazing. I think it's hard to see, especially watching the other teams play, especially in the U.S. and they basically got full barns, or at least a lot of fans, and those games are a lot more fun to watch than games without any fans in the building. So we'd love to have them here. It's not our call, and hopefully maybe we can go long enough here where we can get them in.
Do you want to just follow up as well, JMO?
Sure. I think much the same, really. Obviously, we'd love to have the fans at the games, and it is what it is. Obviously, we've played the whole season without fans, and we're pretty good by now, I think, at sort of dealing with the task at hand, and not sort of worrying about things that are out of your control. And certainly that's outside of any of our control. And but at the same time, I do think I'm really feeling the energy of the fans in Manitoba here, even without them being in the building. Just the support, like Mel said, the honking, the people driving around downtown. I'm sure the residents of downtown maybe didn't love it, considering it was 2:33 in the morning. the other night, and people were still flying around downtown, honking and celebrating. But that makes it pretty special. And driving home after the game, just seeing some of the streets lined up with cars and people waiting to wave at us and celebrate, in the best way you can at this point in time, was pretty cool. So, hopefully we can get fans back as soon as possible. But in the meantime, I'm certainly feeling the support, and I know all the guys are as well.
We'll go next to Sarah Oleski from TSN. Go ahead, Sarah.
Thanks, Gregor. This question's for Josh. Josh, are you keeping a close eye on the Montreal-Toronto series?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, since the start of the series, obviously, given the fact that we've, other than the one night, played on different nights, been able to watch, 3 of the 4 games so far. And of course, interested in how that series goes, since we've played so many games against both of those teams. And of course now, that'll be our, one of those teams will be the team we play coming up. So it's nice to be able to watch those games and sort of keep an eye on how things are going.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thanks, Gregor. This question's for you, Josh. I keep reading that this is a breakout series for you, and I'm curious how you view this series for yourself.
This past series?
This past series, yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I'm definitely happy with, the series that against the Oilers. I feel like, it was an opportunity to play against, 2 of the best players in the world. And, I thought as a team, we did a really solid job. I think, Mel played awesome. I think as a partnership, found a new chemistry level that we haven't had before. Not that it hasn't been there, but I think it just went to another level. And individually, I think I've always said I'm just trying to work on my game, continue to get better every day, and try to push myself to new elements and continue to improve. And that's all I'm trying to do. And it's the playoffs, so I think everyone tries to raise their game, and it's the most important time of the year to be able to bring your best stuff. So it's a good series, and I'm looking forward to the next one to continue to work on things I can be better at, and bring my best game for the team.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from 680 CGOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thank you, Gregor. Good morning, Josh, and congratulations on an outstanding series. We don't know when the next one's going to start, but if things were to work out that say it was a Saturday, in your mind, is a 4-day or 5-day break about the optimal after what you've been through, and so that you're not sitting too long?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to someone about that yesterday, and I think whatever it ends up being, really, you just have to adapt and be ready to go. Played a series where you have literally 1 day off. Remember that a few years ago, after the Nashville Game 7 win, staying over in Nashville and flying back the next day and playing Game 1. I think it was an afternoon game. So that was a pretty quick turnaround. And then other times you have more rest. So that's just another thing that's out of our control. Obviously it depends on how the other series goes and what the league is looking for. But certainly, after the overtime games and the, final game to go to triple overtime, we'll enjoy our rest and, get back to work here and be ready to go. So I think certainly I'd rather have more rest than, no time off at all. And we're going to try to use it to our advantage here.
We'll go next to Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Thanks, Gregor. Hey, this one's for Josh. A little bit building on Jeff's question from earlier, but Paul had said that this series kind of showed the, I don't know, the evolution of you as a player into not only handling, those guys, those big players the way that you did, but being able to, do it on the other end of the ice, get that goal at that important point. I know this series the season came with a lot of challenges, and there were some ups and downs throughout that season. I'm wondering what the emotions maybe for you were, some of the challenges, the things that you did to kind of take your game from a place during the regular season to what your coach and a lot of us on the outside see as the almost the full realization of what you're capable of doing as a player.
Yeah, I think, for me, nothing's really changed. I'm just, like I've always said, and I think, anyone that's been around, and asked me questions, since I've been with the team, it's just about continuing to try to get better. I continued to work on my game, and, I'm thankful that the series went well and everything like that. But I'm just trying to bring my best game here in the playoffs, and I think that's a great part of the playoffs is it's an opportunity for everyone to step up and bring your best game. And thankfully the first round went really well for us, and I think the partnership between Mel and I think really like I said, went to another level, and his play was just outstanding. I think together we really were able to do play some great hockey, and we're going to have to continue to keep getting better with that, and if we want to continue to have success. So I really think it's just part of the process, and for me, nothing changes going forward. Just continuing to try to get better.
We'll go next to Stephen Wino from the Associated Press. Go ahead, Stephen.
Hey, Josh, apologize for the dog bark in the background. What do you remember about that Nashville series and winning on the road there, and how tough that crowd was to play in front of?
Yeah, I mean, that was a back and forth series. There was never 2 wins in a row. I think, we had really battled all season against the Predators, and, we had an opportunity in Game 6 to close it out at home, and, lost that game. So it was really about trying to, refocus, reset, and go into a really tough building to play in for Game 7 on the road. After, like I said, losing Game 6 with an opportunity to win. So, and then going in and just playing an outstanding road game, and really, closing that one out in pretty much as well as we could have in that Game 7. So, I just remember it being a really hard fought series, and the perfect example that, playoff hockey, you have to reset and refocus after every game, because momentum's hard to keep in the playoffs, and you have to reset and refocus, because each game kind of will take on its own life.
When teams go on these long runs, it often takes a defenseman playing 30 minutes a night and all that to do it. How comfortable do you feel at the stage of your career to be that guy, to be the Drew Doughty, the Chris Letang type, to be able to go on that kind of run and play those minutes?
Well, I think, we work really hard, and, we've all worked really hard during the year to put ourselves in position to be in the best shape as possible, to be able to play a lot of minutes. And I think, our defense as a whole was really solid and outstanding through the first round, with big contributions from everybody, in different games, guys stepping up. So, we're going to need more of that as a group. I think physically, on an individual level, every player wants to have the opportunity to I guess, play as much as you can and sort of run with that. And I certainly, relish that opportunity. And in the playoffs, it's all about recovery, trying to do, the little things you can at home. And, I've put a lot of time into, get myself prepared for the playoffs, and have the, stuff around me that can help me to recover and be ready to go. And I think that's what we're all trying to do.
We'll go next to Murat Atesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Thanks, Gregory. Good morning, guys. I'll start with Josh on this one as well. It's a recovery type of question. I'm wondering what in the world the sleep science or the sleep strategy might say after you get home so late after an overtime game. Is it get 7 to 9 hours? Is it wake up when you normally do? Like, what is it actually that you need to do? And if it's not a trade secret, when you say you have stuff you need to have around you to recover, what kind of stuff is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Sleep obviously is so important, and it's a little bit different for everybody. But it's a challenge after games for a lot of guys. I'd be one of those guys, especially after a long game. Usually you're probably having maybe coffee or different types of those stimulants later in the day than most people would. Sort of in the more traditional work hours, if you will, and certainly as the game goes on late into the night, the adrenaline's still there, and when you're on the winning side of it, that emotion is there as well. So it's hard to come down. So I think it's all about trying to get yourself to relax and sort of calm down as much as possible. I think we're certainly happy that we didn't have to, we were able to win that game, and we're not preparing right now for a game 5 tonight after a flight yesterday. I mean, it would have been a pretty long day. So it was huge that Kyle put that goal in for us. And then, I mean, for me, some of those things, I've really realized the importance over the last few years on recovery, and especially during the season. I think there's nothing more important to try to get the batteries recharged as much as possible. And so for me, over the off season, I put a sauna into my house. I have a cold tub at home, lots of different things. We all do different stuff, but the biomat, the Normatec, whatever you can do, to try to recover as much as possible, and get the batteries back to 100%. So it's been a good routine for me, and certainly in that first round, especially with the back-to-back, some of those things really helped, I think.
We'll go back to Murat Atesh for a follow-up. Go ahead, Murat.
The follow-up is essentially the same question to Dylan. I mean, what goes into your sleep strategy, and then how has that changed now that you've got a little guy at home? And I imagine sleeping every hour that you'd like is not always as perfectly easy as you'd like.
Yeah. Actually, right now, my family's back home in London. They went back home right before the playoffs started, just because my parents haven't met them yet. So with COVID and everything, they went home for, I guess you could say, for the rest of the year. And so I guess that's kind of been good and bad. I've been able to sleep a lot better, which has been great. But I would trade that for him to be with him any day of the week. So I miss him a lot, FaceTiming a lot, but super happy he's home to, spend some time with my folks and my in-laws. And, as much as it's great, for my wife and I, obviously, to have a child, everybody's involved. Your parents are involved, especially being the first grandparent in both of our families. So, I'm super happy that they get to share those moments, and I'm getting a lot of pictures, but, I definitely miss them, and I wish they were still here to spend some time with them. So my sleep has been a lot better overall, Murat, basically is what I'm saying. And especially last night was, or I guess after the game, was definitely tough, like JMO said, just to get down. I think, you get back, it's 2:30 in the morning, or 3 o'clock maybe when you get in your house, and you're still on a high as much as you are tired, and hard not to come off that high. And I actually feel worse today than I did yesterday, because I think I just kept reliving it from talking to my family and talking to friends that wanted to ask about the game and how did it feel. So you're talking about it with all these people, and you're reliving that moment over and over again, and it's just exciting, and to be on the right end of it made it that much better. And I think we'll use these next couple of days to maybe everybody get back on their sleep schedule and use the rest appropriately here. And I got a few things like JMO with the Normatec, and I try to use our staff as much as possible with massages and taking care of the body. And took a couple of shots there in that first round. So just make sure those are good, and eat well, sleep well, hydrate well, and those are easy things that you can take care of.
Go next to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Quick one for Dylan. What do you think made the partnership so effective, and what did you see specifically from Josh in that series?
Yeah, I don't know if it was one thing. I just think we just played extremely hard, and I think we were both really assertive in our play, and we knew the matchup was coming, and we didn't shy down from it. And I think we just took it as a challenge and kind of wanted to prove everybody wrong that we could handle it, and not just us two, but I think as a whole decor and as a whole team, I think we heard that outside noise, and we thought that we could ruin some people's playoff pools, and I think the guys really stepped up and took that opportunity and ran with it. And I think Bucky was unbelievable. Our forward group did an amazing job of doing the right things and playing hard and not giving easy ice. And I think JMO just he was amazing all over the ice and a difference maker in every area, and super confident, and skating was excellent, and his stick was really good. Ended a lot of plays, and blocked a lot of shots, and leader on our back end, leader of our team, and he led every game, and he played so well. And happy to be a partner with him and maybe help him a little bit, but I think in his own right he did an awesome job.
And final question, Alexander Gamel from NHL.com Germany. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Dylan. We've seen captains of the teams step up in the playoffs across the league, with Jordan Staal scoring an OT winner last night, Bergeron eliminating the Capitals with 2 goals, and obviously Blake Wheeler assisting on 2 goals on Monday. What would you say is the importance of good leadership in the playoffs, and has the role and importance of leadership changed this season without fans and with the tougher schedule?
Well, our leadership group here is unbelievable. It's doing the right things at all the time, and Blake blocks a shot in his midsection area there, and this is a guy that's point per game player, a top player in the league, and for him to eat a shot like that, it just rallies everybody, and that's as important as scoring a goal. So when you see your captain do that, it's it's a trickle down effect that everybody in the lineup's going to play that hard and do the right things like that. So our leadership group has done an amazing job this year of making sure that we're staying the course even when we were on that that losing streak there, and many people writing us off and saying that we're no good and all these things. And our leadership group made sure that we believed in ourselves and believed in what we were doing, and that's also with our coaching staff did an amazing job of making sure that we had the right mindset going into these playoffs. So I can't say enough good things about Wheels, JMO, Scheif, our leadership group. Amazing men, amazing hockey players, and definitely big leaders on our team and in our community.